Have you ever felt so overwhelmed by the chaos of your cardstock that you forgot what cardstock you had to begin with and you bought more of the same? Or you just don't want to craft because it takes too long to find that particular cardstock that you know that you have somewhere. In today's video, I'm going to give you some tips on storage organization and also some photo opportunities for the month of October. One is just the fall foliage to begin with. The other day, I had a student bring me a leaf that had fallen on the ground, and it had beautiful, vibrant multicolors to it. So I zoomed in on that picture, or on that leaf, and took the picture. It was so neat. You want to look up and get different angles of the trees and the lighting through the trees. Fall landscapes. This is my absolute favorite time of the year. So go out for a walk, and even those bare trees make really neat pictures. Go out for a drive. Find all sorts of different landscapes and some that you haven't even seen before. Um, get up high. When you find these landscapes, get up high, like in some sort of tower or balcony, because that panoramic view of all the different changes of colors, I mean, just the nature's beauty, it's amazing and breathtaking. And when you're out for that drive, look around. Do you see a old tractor or some wagon wheels or an old barn? Just things like that that would make some really neat looking pictures. Sports. This is another good time to take those pictures and get those candid moments, like pictures of the players, the fans, the coaches, the band, cheerleaders, and again, zoom in. I know that you may not be able to get like on the field and get those close-ups, but zoom in as close as you can. Sometimes you can zoom in on the coaches and catch that intensity of the game on their face, or those candid moments with the players when they take their helmets off and they get that water drink. How about some pictures of the World Series game parties that you're hosting or that you're attending? Or even, Sunday football games, the parties that you're hosting and attending as well. Get pictures of the snacks and the plates and just the decor of all that. Speaking of football, how about those homecoming festivities? I live in a college town, and there's always the homecoming parade, and then there's a competition. It's called Paint the Town Red, and there's a lot of businesses and places throughout the town that paint their business windows. So there's neat pictures that I take of that, the parades, and I know that some high schools, for their homecoming, they have celebrations very similar to that as well. Tailgating parties, the big blow up toys and stuff that they have, the bounce houses and things like that. Those make some really cool pictures. Fall carnivals, those are fun. Hay rides. And remember that I was going through some pictures the other day, and I found some pictures of my boys on those big old hay bales, and they were jumping around, and the expressions on their faces were so priceless. So take pictures of that. Bobbing for apples, caramel apples. There's the decor that goes with some of those fall festivals. Going on hay rides. That is always fun, and getting pictures of that time too. Pumpkin patches. I love going to pumpkin patches, and it doesn't matter how old you are, get those pictures. Go. Get pictures of the decor. Get pictures of picking out the pumpkins, drinking some apple cider, arts and crafts that may be out and about. Those painted signs that have the cutouts for the faces? Get in those and get those pictures. There's a lot of different little photo ops at these different pumpkin patches too. And speaking of pumpkins and pumpkin patches, you know, and I was saying about picking out the pumpkins, let's go through the whole process. You pick out the pumpkin, you come home and you carve the pumpkin, get pictures of that, you know, laying the pattern out or just drawing if you're a really good artist. Also, you know, being sure to get the pumpkin seeds and the cleaning process and baking the pumpkins in your oven. And then after that, be sure and get those nighttime pictures of your carved pumpkins. Those are really cool pictures. Going to spook houses. I've only been to a few of them. It's not something that I really love and enjoy, but I know that my boys like going to it. So I always get pictures and stuff out waiting in line and that kind of stuff. So, and sometimes of the spook house itself. Sometimes I have enough lighting there that it makes for a cool shot. I think we're up to like number nine, and that's just play in general or relaxation. Going to the park, maybe get some family photos taken at the park, and then play in general. Think about those pile of leaves and people jumping or falling into a pile of leaves. And last but certainly not least, be sure and take pictures of the trick-or-treaters. You know, kids and even adults, you know, dressed up in their Halloween costumes. I think I've said before that the elementary school that my son attended, and really even at the junior high and high school, the whole town had Halloween parades. And I know that that's a tradition that they still carry on. And so I still have lots of pictures that I still need to scrapbook for that. And the candy, that candy stash, after everybody goes out trick-or-treating, lay that on the table and take some pictures. And heck, why not take some pictures of the candy that you're going to pass out? You know, however you have it set up in a little candy bowl. There's some really cool looking bowls out there that would make some really great pictures too. And getting those pictures of the trick-or-treaters. And I'm seeing in my mind like clusters of friends, groups of friends out trick-or-treating. And you can get pictures of them as they're walking off, you know, get pictures of them from the backside, get pictures of them, you know, coming up and everything. I just feel like fall is just a magical time of year. You know, it's a season of change. Things are changing. And be sure and capture those moments. Because when you look back in about 20 years, you're going to be glad that you did. For paper storage, I was looking for the best way to store my papers. Something that was easily accessible to me. And I started off with some green wire racks that I put over here on my desk. And they didn't work out. I don't know if it was the user or if it was the system itself, but the racks would fall down on top of each other. It just didn't really seem to be sturdy as what I wanted. So I got rid of those wire racks and the search was back on. Now I know in my work life, in my office, I use these cube units, but going around to like Walmart and Target and stores like that, I was not able to find cube units that were big enough for my 12 by 12 papers. Then one day, while my husband and I was up in Springfield, Missouri, we went to a Menards. And Menards is a home improvement store. It's a chain business. It's like Lowe's and Home Depot. And they had this designer's image cube unit. And this is an 8 cube unit. They also have the 4 cube units and the 6 cube units. And these cubes measure 13.5 by 13.5. And then the fabric bins are 13 by 13. Perfect for my 12 by 12 papers. I already had from many years ago these holders to keep my 12 by 12 paper in. So my next step was to see if I could find more holders like that or some of the inserts. So I was able to find very similar holders like these on Amazon, but what I really found that I thought was neat was the Kato scrapbook paper storage organizer. And that is just these papers right here. Or not papers, but the sleeves that will hold everything. Next, I had to go through my papers and divide them up into themes. So this was a lengthy progress to start off with. Once I started going through my papers, it did take me a couple of days to get them all divided, because what I did, the first thing is I sat down and I thought about the different themes that I could just recall off the top of my head. You know, I knew that I had some aquarium papers. I knew I had back to school papers. I knew I had some Christmas papers and some fall papers and family papers. So I started writing stuff down, and then I went back in and went through my papers, and then I wrote everything down in alphabetical order, writing everything that I had found in my papers in alphabetical order. And then I tried to decide if some of those papers could go into the same category. And so I did that, and then I went through and I have arranged my papers in an alphabetical order first. Now, I am so glad, like I said, this was lengthy to start off with, but it is a real time saver now to have everything organized alphabetically, because then I know whereabouts to find the papers that I'm looking for. So I use my label maker, and on my bigger holders like this, then I've got it listed here on the outside, and then on my little Kato sleeves, then I have labeled them here on the side so that I can see them. Now, as you can see, if I have purchased a paper kit or a paper package from, this is Hobby Lobby, I have kept it in its original packing, and I have it here after my floral or my farmhouse. And so, like with Cartabella, I've done the same thing. So it's easy for me, if things come in a package already, to keep it that way. But somebody did question me about my Ziploc bags. And so if I do have some similar themed papers and some other items that perhaps I didn't keep the original bagging for, or never had in the first place, just bought it separately and then to throw it together as a kit, then I do have these big gallon size Ziploc bags, and then I just, you know, put it right back into this. It's a little bit hard to do on the camera, but I put it back in a little container and keep it all together. And it does, as you can see, it does fit in there nicely and slips right in nicely as well. So it goes from A to Z. I do have Zoo. Oops, was a little bit backwards there. So I do have Zoo down here, and that is my last one. And then here, I've been a little bit busy, and I have purchased some kits that I have not got organized yet. So that is something that I need to sit down and do. So I do have these just stuck here, and I have some black cardstock and some white cardstock stuck right here. And in order to keep things upright so they don't bend, then I do have a bookend that helps me out. And then this is where I keep my stencils. And then we come over here, and this is my solid color of cardstock. And I have put that in order of the rainbow, Roy G. Biv. And then after that, then over here is my Close to My Heart and my Stampin' Up! Solid colors. And then here at the end is a very similar story as to what we have going on over here, is some Stampin' Up! Papers that I haven't got organized yet, but I know that those are right there, and that's what they are. And I really just cannot express how much these little Kato paper storage organizers have been a lifesaver, and how impressed I am with them, because they hold, I think I have at least 2 packets in here, so they hold a lot of paper, and it's just very convenient and to keep track of everything in. And I like to be able to see the paper and still have it together, and then I can just kind of flip through and see if there's, you know, a particular one that I want out of here without having to take all of it out. Now, in this third level of my 8 cube storage system is that I have, as you can see here, I have labeled the outside of my fabric storage cubes so that I know, I have a good idea of what's in here. I have paper packs and kits in here. Close to My Heart, Let's Party is in there. Honey Bunny, Skylark, Love Notes, Mix-Ins, Journey, The Change of Season, all from Close to My Heart. I have some other miscellaneous paper packs or kits in here, some from Echo Park, and some of the Stampin' Up! Papers. Over here is kits that I've purchased from my local scrapbook store, or the layouts that I have made so far on my videos that I need to get placed into an album, and even some of the paper that I have made myself. And again, I have kept things in their Ziploc type storage bags that they came in. And I did have somebody ask me how I keep my papers to stand up in these cubes. And again, I use a bookend to keep everything straight. And that does hold when I slide my cubes in and out of the unit. And then down here on my bottom shelf is where I have the heavier items, because this one right here is getting heavy, and so just like these, to slide them back in there, you have to grab it from the bottom and kind of give it a push and nudge it and push it back in there. But down here I have my paper pack, Hobby Lobby, my paper packs from Michaels, just these big old paper packs. And again, with these back behind them, I have the metal bookends, and that helps keep everything staying up straight, and so it doesn't fall back and get bent. Also, these fabric bins make great things to take to your crops. Yesterday I went to a crop and I took my rainbow and Stampin' Up! Papers in one cube with me to this crop, and it was easy to carry in. I mean, it was heavy, but you know, I had the handles, and so I was able to carry it in the crop, but I was able to take a lot of paper with me. Also, this is a great little place that I'm storing right now and using, along with these storage units, is from my New York trip, and so I'm working on that. So these containers are great as well to hold the papers and the kits, and then I have all 3 of these containers in one bin right here, and this is all stuff for my New York album that I am still working on. Thank you for watching my video. Be sure to leave me some comments. I would love to hear your thoughts and even your ideas on some different paper storage solutions. If you like what you saw, and if you were able to pick up some tips and tricks in this video, be sure and click my like button. That does help me here on the YouTube analytical cycle thing. And share this video with your family and friends. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, go make some memories. Bye.